Hello everyone, my name is Dawn and thank you for joining me today as I set up my first spread in this square Tiefossi journal for January. So first of all, I would like to wish everyone a very happy new year, and I hope you all had an excellent festive season if you were celebrating. I personally had a great time, so I hope you all did too. So here we go, we're setting up for the first month of the year in this square journal. And it's going to be a bit of an adventure for me because it's the first time I'm using a square journal. So I'm having to get used to the format. It is a little bit different to using an A5. And keeping in with the mindset of when I set up the very beginning of this journal, I'm going to use existing stationery that I already have in my stash. So we're starting off with this Crayola fine liner, and it's from the Colours of Kindness set, and it's in powder blue. So I'm just drawing my calendar here. So again, this took a little bit of just a little bit more thought than when I'm setting up in an A5. I've got so much more space to work with here, so it is really good. I believe the boxes were 6x6 dot spaces. There we go. So plenty of room to write whatever I've got going on in January. And I'm just freehanding the lines rather than using a ruler. I do use a ruler a little bit later, but not for its intended purpose. I just kind of wanted this setup to be a little bit more whimsical and relaxed. The theme is, we're kind of going on a snowy glacial theme, so I'm using these washi tapes. And if you watched my rather large video of the 2026 setup, you'll see the box set that these tapes came from, because they are from that massive 100 roll set of washi tapes. So the one I've just put down along the bottom is just a kind of a snowy scene with snowflakes and snowmen, snow globes, and we've got a little bit of slimmer weather washi along this side that I've just doubled up, and they're little rain clouds. I'm in the UK, we've currently got snow. We did have a little bit of rain today, so the snow is going, but it's been quite a snowy few days, so it kind of helped with deciding the theme. I've just drawn a box to the side of that calendar there, and this is where I'm just going to be placing any tasks or events or little reminders that I might need for the month. I'm hand lettering all the titles this month. So here I'm using a Crayola soft, very light blue shade. All of the Crayolas, the super tips, not the fine liner obviously, they came from the Crayola pastel sets. So I have a couple of the box sets. I think I've got every single pen made by Crayola at this point, because Hobbycraft keep doing a half price sale on all the Crayolas, so I've completely stocked up on Crayola pens. So there we go, we've hand lettered our January title. I'm just going over with that marker just to add a little bit more definition where I feel it needs it. And yeah, the Crayolas are pretty good for hand lettering because you can get a really thick downstroke, and it's quite easy to get a thinner upstroke for your modern calligraphy or hand lettering. I'm just going around the outline of the lettering with that very same powder blue fine liner that we used for the calendar. Just again to give it a little bit more definition. And this is a great way, little hack as well, that if you've made any kind of wobbles or inconsistencies in your lettering, if you do an outline, it covers a multitude of sins. So it's really useful. It's a useful little hack. This video is sped up 3 times, so the calligraphy, you can see it went pretty quickly where I was going much slower. So I'm just picking out some stickers here from Ikigai Papir. I never know if I'm botching that name or not. It's Mochitones shop. So Mochitones has a bullet journal channel here on YouTube. If you haven't seen her, go and check her out. She posts amazing artwork and she runs a sticker shop. So I'm just going through my little collection to see what I've got that will fit the theme, picking out all the blue stickers and just working out what to use. So when I saw this bunny theme sticker sheet, I thought, oh yeah, this is going to be perfect. Look, snowy bunnies. They're making snow bunnies. So I'm using the stickers from that sheet and a few of the Mochitone stickers, which are her. They're like a little play on the Pantone colour sheets testing strips, or the Pantone colours. She's developed her own shades and called them Mochitones. And I'm just using the same washi tape here at the top as I did with the bottom. Here's that unlawful ruler use. So just using the ruler to tear the washi tape. And I was going to hand letter each day above each column on the calendar, but I didn't like how it looked. It was looking a bit squished. I think I tried to write the full name for each day rather than just the shortened abbreviation, and there wasn't really enough space. I wrote it too large. So I'm filling in that space here, and then I'm going to grab a silver gel pen and I'll just hand letter in the abbreviated names for each day. So this is the Eddings silver gel pen in 07. And it's quite nice. It gives a nice little sheen. It's quite sparkly, which is what we like. And it shows up really well against that darker blue. Again, from the Crayola Super Tips range. None of the Crayolas have names, so it's really difficult. I've numbered all of mine just for my own collection and sanity. But when I'm looking in the swatch book to see what colours I want to use. So yeah, working in this square journal has been interesting. Obviously there's a lot more space, so there's more room for decoration and for kind of being a little bit more leisurely, if that's the right word, a little bit more relaxed about the space you're taking up in your spreads. It's just something that I've kind of always been aware of in the A5. Sometimes I was cramming things in a little bit. So here you can see first mistake of the journal, which is not doing too bad to get this far along and to have only made a mistake now. Just popping the first, second and third of the month sticker in the wrong place, but then we noticed it and got it sorted. Again, these are from Mochitones, her sticker sheets. Because she does bullet journaling, and I mean she's always been a very large inspiration for me. In fact, I would say that it was watching her journaling videos that actually got me interested in making my own creative bullet journal in the first place. But yeah, she makes a lot of functional stickers as well as like the pretty decorative stickers, so they're great. Just adds a little bit of variety to your setups and saves your hand having to write out all those numbers. So I'm using the same Crayola here for the second line highlights that I used in the title, and that's our cover and calendar spread done. We're on to the next page. So this is me looking through the Moon Magic colouring book for a suitable page to use as a mood tracker. Now this is one of the ways I like to make a mood tracker, and if you're a fan of colouring in, you will like it too. So I've gone through and just looked for a design that will work with basically taking elements, numbering each element for each day of the month, and then you colour that element in. So I'm actually using the back of the design pages, if that makes sense. These are repeated throughout the book here. Initially I cut a page out and looked on the other side and realised, oh no, that had like a mushroom image on it that I might want to use later in the year, so I went back through the book and found the repeating page to cut out. So we've put that to one side, and here I'm just measuring out where I want my trackers. I'm doing a large table tracker this month, like I do pretty much every month. I'm not really a fan of the mini calendar habit trackers. I like this rolling task table setup. It may not be the most attractive setup for the table, but golly gosh, is it the most functional, definitely. So again, using the same powder blue fine liner from Crayola, I've done the outline for my table, and I am just writing in the number for each day along that top line. And I was just using the ruler there just to double check I'm starting in the right place. Sometimes I start with the last day of the month and work my way backwards, and sometimes I start with the first. And then I'm going to go and do the initial for each day. Again, just checking the calendar that I'm getting it right along the bottom of the top table. So if you've watched my setups, you probably know the drill with this style of tracker, but I'll explain it anyway. So the top section is a graph style tracker that I use to track my health symptoms, and the bottom is a more standard Alistair type rolling task habit tracker. So in the left column I'll write down the habit and then mark under each day whether the habit was completed or not. So I like to have lots of spaces, so I've got lots of options on what I want to track each month. My memory is not great, so again this is really useful. I can look back and see whether I did the thing I was supposed to do on a certain day a few weeks ago, it's helpful. And here I'm just hand lettering the word trackers, and I think the start of the word was in real time, just to give you an idea of the speed I'm working at here. and then we sped back up to 3 times normal speed, so that you're not all dying of boredom watching me try to complete this word. Sometimes I'll look up like references for fonts and for hand lettering. I am still kind of at that stage. I didn't do that this month, so if the lettering looks a bit sketchy in places, then you know why. It's because I didn't do any research, didn't look it up, didn't have a reference. But that's okay. You don't always have to use references, and if you're happy to go with the flow, then it's okay, it's not a bad thing. So now we're moving on to our mood tracker, and I'm just trimming that page I took out of the colouring book down to a size that's going to fit in this right hand side of the spread. So the width of this paper I've cut out is already wider than an A5 journal, so we're already getting more bang for our buck space wise with this tracker. And I'm just using some glue tape here just to secure it down to the page. So I quite like this design. I think it fits pretty well with the theme because the colours are all kind of very neutral, blues and purple tones. And I'm just using that same silver Eddings gel pen that I used earlier, going through numbering each of the elements in a way that makes sense, so that as I'm going through looking for each day, I'm not getting lost, losing elements. So then once all of those little images are numbered, I will go through and use the same silver pen just to pick out certain areas, because this image is quite busy, there's a lot going on, and I didn't want to, obviously I'm not going to be colouring every element because there's more than 31 things on the page. So I'm going through and just colouring in the odd dot and star with this silver gel pen. And afterwards I will use a gold gel pen as well, the Pilot 07, to go in and colour any other elements that are left over that aren't a part of the mood tracker. And these metallic sparkles will just kind of zhuzh up the page a little bit, as the colours I'm going to be choosing to represent each mood are all colours from the setup. Well, I should say shades really. They're all shades of blue and maybe one very light pastel purple. So the whole tracker is going to look a little bit pastel and muted. And I thought adding a little gold and silver is going to just add a little bit more life to the tracker. So yeah, I really enjoy using pages from colouring books for the mood trackers. I think it works really well. It can look really, really stunning, depending on how you colour them in. And I've got a couple of kind of magical and witchy themed colouring books that work really well, and I've been using those steadily probably for the last 2 years, I think, 2 or 3 years. If you have a look at my previous setup videos, you'll see how I've used them, and it's just a little bit different to having a standard mood tracker. I mean, what do you think? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it works well? And do you even include a mood tracker in your bullet journal? Not everybody does include them. And this is one of the beautiful things about creative bullet journaling. You can literally just make it to suit yourself. You can include or exclude anything that suits or doesn't suit your purposes. It's so modular, and I don't think I'd be able to go back to a set planner now. I think I'd find it too restrictive. So there we go, that's our mood tracker completed, and I'm just going to add a little bit of washi tape just to tie all the spreads together, make it all cohesive. That's that same snowy scene washi tape I'm using at the top, and then I haven't quite got as much space at the bottom, so I'm using it's like a wintry cloud design, and then I do pick a slimmer design that refuses to tear off, just to go along that top edge above the mood tracker. So I did look on Stationery Pal to see if this washi tape set was still available, and I couldn't find it on there. So what I would do is, if you're interested in getting the 100 piece box set, it was very reasonably priced when I bought it. I've had it probably about maybe a year, 2 years. I think it was £10 for like 100 rolls. Insane. So I'll do a reverse image search on the box and see if I can find a link for you and pop it down in the description below. I'll also link to these sticker sheets here from Ikigai Papir, and then you can just go straight to Heather's shop and help yourself. She really does have lovely, 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 lovely stickers and stamps, and she sells washi tapes as well. So you can go straight to her, send some business her way, support small businesses. Any. So I'm just using some of the sparkles off her sheets. Her sticker sheets are really good. Even the little elements that are just kind of decorative are all kiss cut, so you can use them as little stickers. So thoughtful. She really has thought of everything. And then I'm using my silver gel pen, that same Eddings pen, just to add to the sparkles, because we've got metallic elements on the right side of the page, so I thought we'd add some on the left just to tie it all together. And it'll come as no surprise to learn that I am a fan of the sparkles. And with that, this spread is done. Just look at that shine. So I'll turn over the page and start on our next spread, and this is going to be 2 weekly spreads, because we've got lots and lots of room in this square journal, so I can easily fit a weekly per page, which is excellent, and it answers the question that I asked in the unboxing video and review of this very journal, where I was comparing it to my A5 journal that I used last year, and this journal has a few less pages. I think it's 160 something pages, and my A5 journal was 192. So I was trying to work out the page space and if I would be able to fit an entire year into this journal. And going on how these two spreads came together, I think I'm going to be absolutely fine. It's going to work out really, really good. So I'm using my grid ruler here just to mark out the spacing for these weekly spreads. I'm going with a rectangular vertical box layout with 4 boxes on the top half of the page and 4 boxes on the bottom half of the page. And this means that you have a box for every day of the week, and then you have a spare box that you can either use for notes, tasks, or decoration. And I opted to decorate my extra box because I've already got that rolling task list on the calendar spread. And I think I'm going to have enough room to write everything with the spacing of these rectangular boxes. So I'm using that same powder blue fine liner from Crayola from the Colours of Kindness set. And you may notice that very right hand side box is a little bit slimmer than the other 3 or 6 really, and that's because the grid ruler I was using is for an A5 and this journal is a tiny bit shorter than a classic A5. This square journal measures 8 by 8 inches, so the grid ruler I was using is just like 1 dot grid space out, and I wasn't aware of that. I thought it was the same size. So I'm just using some functional stickers for the days of the week from Ikigai Papir shop by Mochitones, and then I'm filling in that extra box just with a little bit of decoration using the decorative dots that she includes on her sticker sheets and a Mochitone sticker. And with that page is done. So there's plenty of space to write what's going on each day. I think it's going to work out really well. So I'm going to do something similar but not exactly the same on this right hand page, and this is where you'll notice well, I'll certainly notice that I realise actually this isn't the same. It's not the same size. I mean, obviously it's not the same size because it's a square journal, but I thought the width was the same length as an A5, if that makes sense. But the good news is I will have spare pages at the back, so I'll just take a page out and make a grid ruler that is suited specifically to this journal. So for these boxes, I'm leaving the top line open on the top line of boxes, the top half, and the bottom line open on the bottom half. And that's because I'm drawing inspiration from the lettering of those functional stickers, and I'm just going to very roughly imitate the lettering using that same powder blue pen and just hand letter each day of the week across the top. I got quite lucky with the colouring of the functional stickers because they match this pen perfectly, and I would love to say that it's through design and that I gathered everything together and checked that it all matched exactly, but I didn't. I was just going with general tones, so I did get very, very lucky. So I do go in later on and just put the date for each day in each box. I didn't get around to doing it here, but I do it later on. And this month I'm using a beautiful blue ink called Bluebell Brushstrokes from Ferris Wheel Press in my fountain pen, and it will match this theme really nicely. So with that, there's nothing left to do but go through our flip through of all the spreads we've made today. I hope you enjoyed watching me make these spreads. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. I appreciate every single one of you. If you haven't already, please could you pop a like on the video, give us a thumbs up, and hit subscribe if you're not already, and share the video with anyone that you think might enjoy this content. You can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok under the same name as this channel. I hope you're all having a lovely, lovely day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.